How can you be a man, not have sex for months and not care? You might go through a little phase here and there of caring, but how can you be living life in your 20s knowing that you actually can't get regular sex if and when you want it? Let's not get into if sleeping around or whatever is good for you or not. Like, it can be sleeping around or it could be with a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Regular sex with your girlfriend. Like, how can you live your life knowing that you can't get that? Like, as a man, you should be not happy with that. You should be angry. And I'm not saying be angry at the world. I'm saying be angry at yourself. You should be angry that you haven't cultivated the ability to go out there and get regular sex, whether it's casual sex or with a girlfriend. This is one of your core callings in life, biologically, as men, when you look at it through an evolutionary lens. You know, what does Charles Darwin say? You know, if you want to look at it through an atheistic point of view, right? You know, we're on this earth to preserve energy, survive and procreate. So it's one of the top three. If you look at it through like monotheism, or like one of the three top religions in the world right now, one of the main things is to have a family, be virtuous and bring up that family, right? You know what I mean? And you're living life just lifting up that lid on the laptop every time you feel a bit lonely or a little bit horny, going on dirty websites and then closing that lid and not thinking about it until 24 hours later when you feel a little like, oh, when you see someone on the explore page that stimulates you. Trust me, when years go by, no matter what way you look at life, it's going to deeply hurt you when you didn't cultivate the skill to date. And this is what I recommend. You want to get to the point where you can date multiple girls so you can pick the right one and have a great relationship. Look at all the studies. Even Alex Hormozy says this. Look at all the studies. One of the most important investments in your life is the woman you choose to marry and settle down with. Why? Because when you start getting into your 50s, 60s and 70s and you've picked the right girl and you've got a family and you've got grandkids, when you're old, you know what I mean, not much is going on in your life. All you've got is your family. Yeah, or at least for the most part. You know, there is some people that have got an abundance of friends, close friends when they're old. But when you look at most old people you know now, mostly they've got the odd friend here and there, and they've got their core family. So this actually goes extremely deep, but without getting too deep into it, into like long-term happiness, investing in what's going to have the biggest ROI, which is, you know, your partner and things like that. You know, and you might hear this and think bitterly, but they're probably just going to leave me and cheat me anyway. But listen, it's the skill set that you cultivate to be able to get regular sex, whether it's casually or with a girlfriend, it's the skill set that you learn to manage male-female dating dynamics that allows you to be able to basically reduce the risk of cheating, but you can't reduce it completely. So it doesn't matter. It's all about, it doesn't matter what happens to you. You've got the skill set to now go find another girl who might be more compatible with you, or whatever life circumstances are, you make it for the long run, yeah? You keep living your life, not working on your confidence, your social skills, your online dating CV, dating apps, Instagram, your physique, your looks, all these things. And you keep lifting up that laptop lid, which you already know is eating you up inside. As a man, what are we valued on? As a man, you know, when you wake up as a man, you should be able to go out there and get resources, money. You should be able to, whoever comes into life as a woman, you should be able to take care of them. What's another thing? You know, as a man, you should be sporty, competitive, looking after your physique. You should look good. You should look healthy. You should look capable. And we all know as men, we should be able to go out there and get women. This is a natural feeling in us. And you most probably feel terrible knowing that you can't get any women and any sex at all. You feel terrible. Every time you're lifting up that lid and you let time pass by, you know, you wake up one morning and you're like, this ain't right. I feel lonely. And then that's when you start watching my videos. Only then. You need to start watching them now. You need to get working on yourself. You need to quit that video game and that dirty website, because them two things are causing you to waste so much time. It's unbelievable. And when you stop those two and you start going, right, all the time I was going to spend on them, I'm either going to spend it earning money, yeah, I'm going to spend it looking into how to level up myself to get better with women, to get better at dating, to become the man that women want to be with, how to manage them, how to attract them, how to actually score. Because trust me, when you hit you don't want to be one of these stats that we're seeing now, that 50% of men now that are 30 and under haven't had it in 6 months or more. You know, if you're watching this, this is most likely you. Don't let that be you. Please, there's a male loneliness epidemic because they're all just sitting indoors on video games, on short form content, on dirty websites. That video game that you're so obsessed with, that you love leveling up that character. Why don't you just apply that to yourself? It's as simple as that. If you put the effort you put into the video game into yourself, guess what? You can get sex on tap. You can get relationships on tap. It really is simple. It really is easy. So please, ask yourself, how can you be okay with yourself in 2025 as a full-grown adult male and you can't actually get sex? Ask yourself this. And please get rid of video games and the dirty websites.